inaangkin at kung paano natin ina-apply sa buhay yung mga nandyan na mga kapangyarihan, mga elemento, mga sangkap ng buhay, whether we like it or not. What can be said about faith? There are some notes on faith that we should appreciate. Divine will or natural law shapes faith. Bakit natin pinagsabay yung divine will at natural law? Kasi yung natural law, God ang gumawa niyan. Walang pwedeng ibang gumawa. So nakakatiyak tayo that whatever is in natural law is also in accordance with divine will because God created nature. Psalm 139, 13-14, for instance, sa human nature. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Paano ka sasaya sa buhay kung ganyan ang iyong height, kung ganyan ang iyong weight, ganyan ang iyong genes, ganyan ang kulay na iyong buhok o kulay na iyong mata? Paano ka sasaya sa buhay kung isinilang ka sa ganitong tribo, sa ganong lahi, sa ganong bansa? Nasa iyong pamamaraan yan ang pagtanggap sa mga bagay na dapat at kailangang tanggapin. At ang isang dapat at unang-unang tinatanggap para sumaya, kung ano ka at kung paano ka nilikha ng Diyos. Your genetic makeup, your inborn talent, your innate nature, lahat ng yan dapat matanggap. Huwag labanan, i-improve lang, i-enhance, pero huwag i-reject, itapon, kasi hindi mo pwedeng gawin dahil yan ay kakambal ng pagkakalikha sa iyo. Ang tao na sasaya sa buhay, ang tao na sasaya sa buhay na ibinibigay sa kanya ng Diyos, ay yung taong tatanggap sa sarili. Tatanggap din sa kapwa para mayroong kapayapaan, walang needless struggle, walang needless strife, at walang pagsasayang ng pagod, lakas at hirap para baguhin ang hindi naman nababago. Tinatanggap lang ang hindi nababago. Psalm 139:16, tungkol pa rin sa sarili at pagkakalikha ng Diyos sa ating mga sarili-sarili. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. May nakatakda para sa atin. Not the details, kasi meron tayong free will. Pwede tayong mag-interfere, pwede tayong sumali, pwede tayong tumanggap, yumakap, mag-modify, o tumakbo mula dun sa itinakda para sa atin. And in that case, hindi tayo sasaya. Magiging magulo lang. Pero, meron talagang nakatakda. Genetically, people are already created to become this and that. Pwede mong labanan yun, pero hindi ka magiging very fruitful. Pero kung dinevelop mo yun, kung ano yung what you were really ordained by God to be, doon ka magkakaroon ng highest potential to be the best person that you could be, to be the most fruitful and productive person. And, of course, to be the happiest within your own terms. Pagka nilalabanan mo yung likas, nilalabanan mo yung natural, hindi ka sasaya. At nakakalungkot na masyadong maraming religious teachings ang laging itinuturo is to demonize the human nature, to demonize your inborn nature, to demonize what is natural in you. Samantalang sabi nga ng Psalm, you created me. Before I was formed, you saw my unformed body. All the days of my life were ordained by your will. So dapat we develop and come to terms with ourselves. Have peace with ourselves. At magkaroon tayo ng peace kung paano nilikha ng Diyos ang ating kapwa, ang ating kapatid, ang ating kaibigan, ang ating anak, ang ating magulang, kasi lahat yan likha ng Diyos. How do you bow to faith? Accept your natural self. Jeremiah 13:23, can an Ethiopian change his skin or a leopard its spots? Dapat ang number one na katuruan ng spirituality is to accept oneself and to accept others. Pero baligtad, most of the time, ang religiosity, ang religious institutions and organizations, ang mission is to change us, to change you. But how can you change the leopard? How can you change the Ethiopian skin? How can you change a person whose personality, whose being were created by God, ordained by God, even before we were born? Dapat magkaroon tayo ng peace with ourselves. Because peace with ourselves means peace with our makers. Marami kasing mga tao pagka naging mas religyoso, napupuno lalo ng guilt because religion fills them with guilt about their own natural selves. Na laging dinidemonize yung appetites nila, dinidemonize yung kanilang mga hilig, yung kanilang mga pleasures. Samantala ang Diyos naman ang naglagay ng mga nerve endings wherever in every part of our body so that we will be sensual and we will enjoy things that are designed by God to be enjoyed. Siyempre, merong bad way to enjoy, merong good way to enjoy. Pero hindi ko mo enjoyment, bad na. Dapat lang nating dinidisiplina ang sarili na nandun tayo sa tamang paraan, nasa tamang timing, nasa tamang expression at context. But we should not demonize pleasure by itself and in itself. Hindi dapat i-demonize yung mahilig ka, masaya ka, gusto mong sumayaw, gusto mong kumanta, gusto mong kumain, tapos minamasama lagi. Guilty ka tuloy ng guilty, pero hindi mo naman matanggal sa sarili mo, kaya lalo ka lang nagiging guilty. Sabi niya, I praise you for the wonderful way that you have created me. This is me, you are the creator, I will celebrate life the way I am. I will only continue to be the better and the best version of myself, but I will not be not myself. I will stay as myself because you are my creator. Do not exert needless effort to change against how you were created. You would only be miserable, you would only be sad. And if you try to keep changing people for them to be acceptable to you, you will only punish them and yourself, and nobody will succeed anyway. Isaiah 45:9, woe to those who quarrel with their maker, those who are nothing but potsherds among the potsherds on the ground. Does the clay say to the potter, what are you making? Does your work say, the potter has no hands? So yun daw, palayo ka lang, sasabihin mo sa maker, bakit mo akong ginagawang ganyan? Bakit mo akong ginawang ganito? Para walang kamay. Hindi ka sasaya pag nakikipagtunggali ka sa potter, pot and pottery ka. Dapat kang tumanggap kung anong ginawa ng potter. Do not contend with God. Do not contend with nature about how you were created. Ang dapat ang itinuturo ng spirituality is acceptance of self as how God created us and acceptance of others, not rejection of others because we have standards that are impossible to satisfy anyway. Ecclesiastes 2:15, then I said to myself, the fate of the fool will overtake me also. What then do I gain by being wise? I said to myself, this too is meaningless. Ang sinasabi ni Solomon, the wise and fools, pareho lang sila ng fate. The same fate overtakes them, pareho lang silang mamamatay. Sa kabilang buhay. Mayroong ordained common fate ang lahat, no matter. And that is physical death. Matalino ka mat hindi, mayaman ka't hindi, maganda ka by the standards of the world at hindi, pare-pareho lang nasasakabilang buhay. And of course, there's another example of that between humans and animals. Ecclesiastes 3:19, surely the fate of human beings is like that of the animals. The same fate awaits them both. As one dies, so does the other. All have the same breath. Humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. Of course, as poetry, may exaggeration dito. Mayroon naman talagang advantage ang humans over animals. Pero ang sinasabi, pareho lang din kayo mamamatay. So huwag ka mayabang dyan, huwag mong apihin yung hayop, huwag mong kawawain, kasi pare-pareho lang kayong mayroong isang buhay dito sa mundo at nababawi ang buhay na yun. Even between the rich and the poor. Isaiah 24:2, everyone will meet the same fate. The priests and the people, slaves and masters, buyers and sellers, lenders and borrowers, rich and poor. And Ecclesiastes 7:2, it is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. For death is the destiny of everyone. The living should take this to heart. So how do you accept fate? Even how do you accept physical death? Which is inevitable. Di naman naiiwasan. Do not be needlessly concerned about physical death. Huwag laging isipin. Laging takot na takot ang mga tao. We only live once. At sabi nga sa Peanuts cartoon, no, you don't live only once. You live every day and you die once. So sa dinami-dami ng araw ng iyong buhay, isang araw lang doon yung naka-assign sa kamatayan. So huwag mo laging isipin, i-fast forward and not always overthink about it, ang atupagin mo mabuhay because you live every day and you die only one day. At wala pa yung one day na yon, so huwag mo muna siyang problemahin. In fact, huwag mo siyang problemahin. Kahit sino naman ang problema dyan, hindi rin niya naiiwasan. Enjoyin mo na lang yung day of life, day of living, at yung when the day of dying comes, meet your Maker. Accept birth. Also, accept death. Why? Because God is in control. Birth is ordained by God. Even death is ordained by God. So, huwag na lang labanan. Hayaang dumating kung darating, pero habang hindi pa dumarating, huwag yan ang pagtuunan ng pansin, huwag yan ang pag-isipan, ang atupagin ay mabuhay ng makulay, masaya, mabunga, mabuti, makadiyos, maibigin. Proverbs 21:30, there is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. Proverbs 16:33, the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. Ang lahat ng ito ang sinasabi lang, ipasa Diyos ang mga bagay na pang sa Diyos, at ang atupagin lang ay yung pang sa tao. At yung mga dumarating sa atin na hindi natin makontrol, tanggapin. Kung pwedeng improvein. Pero kung wala kang magawang improvein, adjust. Ganon lang para sumaya sa buhay. Psalm 139:16, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. God is in heaven. God is in our hearts. God is everywhere. God is in control. Ano man ang dumadating sa buhay natin, ano man ang ating pinagdaraanan, hindi yan lingid sa Diyos. Alam ng Diyos. At kung alam ng Diyos, at hinahayaan niyang mangyari yan, dapat din nating hayaan. Gamitin lang natin ang God-given talent, capacity, power to improve it, to adjust to it. Pero sa mga hindi na natin mabago, tanggapin para tahimik ang buhay. Dahil kahit naman hindi perfect yung buhay, kahit hindi ang gusto natin ang nangyayari, at kahit ang gusto nating mangyari ay hindi nangyayari, marami pa rin natitirang blessing ang buhay. So huwag tayong mabulag na ang inaantay lang natin ay yung gusto, ang tinitingnan lang natin ay gusto, at pag wala yun, parang wala ng kwenta ang lahat. No. Maraming blessing, maraming pagpapala sa bawat hakbang ng buhay na ito. Kahit yung tinatahak nating landas sa panahon na ito, ay hindi yan ang ideal natin, but if God allows it, we should accept our fate. Proverbs 16:9, in their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Pwede naman tayong magplano. Nagpaplano nga tayo, pero ang Diyos pa rin ang masusunod at the end of the day. After we have done our best, while we are doing our best, let's accept whatever God allows to come into our lives. Huwag magsayang ng pagod na labanan ang kapalarang nangyayari, na labanan ang nagaganap. Ecclesiastes 6:10, whatever exists had already been named, and what humanity is has been known. No one can contend with someone who is stronger, and that stronger someone is God. Another note on faith, human will, faith, prayer can also engineer and modify faith. Kanina ay pinagdiinan natin, tanggapin ang dumadating sa buhay. Tanggapin ang palad. Tanggapin kung ano man ang ibinibigay ng Panginoon. Pero tayo, we were created in God's image. We were given by God the power. At sabi yun ni Jesus, believe. And when you believe, ask, seek, knock, and it will be given to you. When you believe, command this mountain to move, and it will move. So, ang unang choice sa mga dumarating sa atin sa kapalaran para tahimik ang buhay, tanggapin. Pero meron pa tayong isang choice. Modify. Change. Command the mountain to move. Meron ding ganong option. Ecclesiastes 10:10. If the axe is dull and its edge unsharpened, more strength is needed, but skill will bring success. This very short verse has two great ideas. Pag daw ang palakol mo ay mapurol at hindi na hahasak ang kanyang mga talim, dalawa ang pwede mong gawin. Exert more effort. Kahit hindi na masyadong matalim, pag malakas ang paggamit mo sa kanya, makakaputol din niya ng kahoy. Pero, kung meron kang skill, mas lalong success ang darating sa'yo. E di ihasa mo. E di gumamit ka ng technique kung paano gagamitin ang mapurol na tool na yan para yung gusto mo ay mangyari. In other words, pwede ka mag-interfere with the given, and your skill, your God-given skill, can change things. Proverbs 17:8, a bribe is seen as a charm by the one who gives it. So even yun. Maraming mga tao, dinidemonize sila itong verse na to na parang sama-sama ng bribe. Pero ang sinasabi lang naman dito, yung bribe para yung charm. Nakakagawa yan ng maraming mga himala para doon sa nagbibigay niyan. Maraming mga makinarya ang nalalangisan o maandar, maraming pinto ang bumubukas pag ang tao marunong makisuyo at marunong manuyo. Matthew 7:7-8, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. Napaka-common na sa pandinig natin at pagbasa ang verses na ito, pero naiintindihan ba natin? Tumatalab ba sa buhay natin? These are human interventions. Sabi ni Jesus, for everyone who asks, receives. The one who seeks, finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Human interventions are accommodated by God. Human interventions of asking, seeking, and knocking are accommodated by nature, by creation, by the universe. Matthew 17:20, Jesus replied, because you have so little faith, kaya hindi nyo nagagawa ang gusto nyong gawin. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. God creates, but faith can recreate. God lang ang nag-create, pero ang taong kinreate niya, hiningahan niya ng kanyang sariling buhay, meron siyang ibinigay sa ating kapangyarihan that our faith can move mountains, our faith can rearrange the universe, our faith can recreate creation, because when we ask, we receive. When we seek, we find. When we knock, the door will be open. It cannot stay closed if we are knocking in faith. At sa quantum physics, may tinatawag na observer effect. The observer's intention and attention freezes something into a wave or a particle and selects a particular outcome from all possibilities. Call observer effect the effect of prayer. Prayer can move mountains. Prayer can rearrange nature. Faith can rearrange and recreate creation. At may tinatawag sa physics na quantum tunneling, a phenomenon when, by repeatedly trying, a particle is able to penetrate a barrier that it should not be able to go through. In other words, anything that can happen will happen given enough chances. At yung quantum tunneling na yan can be likened to fasting, to prayer, non-stop prayer, prayer without ceasing, believing, insisting. If you continue to keep asking, it will be given to you. At napakaganda ng ginawa ni Jesus dyan na illustration. Yung byuda na merong court case na malamang ipatalo ng judge kasi ang kaya kalaban ng byuda ay mayaman na pwede magsuhol sa judge. Pero sa kapupunta ng byuda doon sa judge, kapapakiusap, kakakatok, kapipilit, kapag mamakaawa, sabi ng judge, hindi ko naman mahal ang byuda na to. Pero sige na nga, matigil na lang siya, ibibigay ko ang gusto niya. At gano'n ang work ng tunneling, quantum tunneling, gano'n ang work ng incessant prayer. Remember, Jesus did not say this for nothing. Intindihin. Operationalize. Sabi niya, ask, and it will be given you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. But remember, all in faith. Nakafocus sa faith. Pero sa kabila ng lahat, dapat mag-iwan tayo ng space for time and chance. Kasi meron ding time and chance. Sabi sa Solomon, sabi niya, time and chance happens to all. Merong inaabutan daw ng malas. So merong ginawa mo na ang lahat, nag-quantum tunneling ka na, nag-pray ka na, nag-fast ka na, ginawa mo na yung practical things, pero hindi pa rin nangyari, tanggapin mo pa rin. Yun ang faith, yun ang palad mo. Kasi ang nag-effect naman, time and chance. May paliwanag ang lahat. Jeremiah 17:10, I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. At pwedeng i-stretch ang ibig sabihin ng conduct na yan and deeds. Could it be faith, prayer, observation, or tunneling, all of the above, or a combination of the above? But remember, those who seek, find. Huwag baliwalain ang kahulugan ng mahiwaga at makapangyarihang katuruan na to ni Jesus. Another note on faith, of course, is to intervene with faith and prayer, which is action. Recreate with faith and prayer, which is also action. It's not enough that you pray with words. Kailangan gawin mo what is practical, what is doable, kasi true prayer is action. And then, of course, as we have mentioned, merong time and chance that can also shape fate. Ecclesiastes 9:11, I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong. Nor does food come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned. But time and chance happen to them all. Sabi sa Tagalog version, ng newer versions, merong inaabutan talaga ng malas. At sa quantum mechanics, merong description ito. Quantum mechanics describes systems in a statistical distribution of possible outcomes. Luck is the small probability that all the factors in a seemingly random system work together in such a way as to bring a favorable outcome that didn't seem very likely. At may kabaligtaran to. The opposite is true for misfortune. Luck, misfortune, the unexpected is an aspect of nature. Meron talagang sweepstakes chance. May ganong nangyayari. Para rin yan sa reproductive system, ang dami-daming sperms, pero isa lang yung magtatagumpay o dalawa. So, sino doon? Luck, fortune, or misfortune befalls everything and everyone. So, accept fortune and or misfortune. Part din yan ng buhay. Walang nakakapagtaka. Proverbs 18:18, casting the lot settles disputes and keeps strong opponents apart. So, imbes lagi kayo mag-away, mag-jack and point na lang daw kayo, magbato-bato, pick, luck, time, chance, can settle many things at nasasave tayo sa maraming pagod, hirap, at sugat. Ecclesiastes 3:12 22. So I saw that there is nothing better for a person than to enjoy their work, because that is their lot. For who can bring them to see what will happen after them? So mag-enjoy na lang daw sa buhay. Kung yan ang yung palad, enjoyin mo. Kung ang dumating sa'yo ay hirap, tanggapin mo. Kung ang dumating ay kasiyahan, tanggapin mo rin. Binbless ka ng Diyos ng kayamanan at kaya mong ma-enjoy, enjoyin mo without apology. Huwag ka lang lilimot na maging mabuti, matulungin sa kapwa. Pero hindi mo kailangang magdusa kung hindi ka naman pinagdudusa ng langit. Religion lang naman ang mahilig magpadusa sa tao. Napakaraming misrepresentation. Kung minsan, pag kinakita mo how the human body was made, we were created by God for pleasure. Kaya ang dami-dami mga nerves na inilagay niya dyan para maramdaman natin ang lahat ng dapat maramdaman. Tapos dinidemonize ng religion yung senses at sensuality. Of course, that's Greek idea na namana ng religion, even ng maraming Christian theologies. Kaya dapat suriin. Ecclesiastes 8:7, since no one knows the future, who can tell someone else what is to come? So do not be over-anxious about the future. Do not be over-anxious about the unknown. Hindi mo pa rin malalaman yan kahit magpatiwa-tiwari ka, magpagulong-gulong, intayin mo na lang mangyari ang mangyayari. At pag nangyari na, huwag mo naman tanggihan, tanggapin. Accepting time and chance could make one yield to fate more gracefully and peacefully. So halimbawa, hindi ka nagtagumpay, pwede mong masabing, hindi kasi natin ginawa ang tama, o hindi kasi ito ang kalooban ng Diyos, o ganun lang talaga, merong dinadatnan ng malas. Pero bihira lang yon. Hindi pwedeng ang namumuhay ay laging kamalasan at hindi laging pwedeng laging swerte. Kasi maliit lang yung chance for swerte and for malas. Ang malaki talaga na bahagi ng buhay ay yung prayer, yung faith, yung work, yung living according to the will of God, following the laws of nature. Yun, malaki ang chance na mangyari yung gusto natin at ibig na mangyari. Ecclesiastes 9:1, so I reflected on all this and concluded that the righteous and the wise and what they do are in God's hands. But no one knows whether love or hate awaits them. Lahat ng ginagawa natin, nasa kamay ng Diyos. Gawin lang natin yung kaya at ipasa Diyos na ang lahat. God is in control. And the part of the system is that prayer and faith can change things, can move mountains. As we have mentioned sa quantum physics, observation can change things, can move mountains. And the wave function collapse, an idea in quantum physics, the outcome of an event can be manipulated by extracting data pertaining to that event. Again, ang equivalent is prayer, observation, faith. What you predict, expect, and measure will increase the probability of it happening. Pag lagi mong pinapredict, inaasahan, sinasabi, binabantayan, inuungkat, pinalalaki mo ang chances na ito ay maganap. Kaya pag ang lagi mong iniisip ay negative, ang lagi mong kinakatakutan ay negative, ang laging laman ng iyong isip ay takot, malamang yun ang matutuloy. Kaya sinasabi sa Bible, whatever is true, whatever is worthwhile, whatever is beautiful, think about these things. Kasi pag iniisip mo, ipinagpe-pray mo. At sa quantum physics yon, you are observing, you are tunneling, and you increase the chances of this happening. That is the observer effect. The observer's intention and attention freezes something into a wave or a particle and selects a particular outcome from all possibilities. As we have said earlier, let me say it again. Tunneling can change things, can move mountains. At yung quantum tunneling, a phenomenon when a particle is able to penetrate a barrier that it should not be able to go through by repeated trying. Anything that can happen will happen given enough chances. At sinasabi ng matatanda, pag may tiyaga, may nilaga. Pag may prayer, may answer. Pag may knocking, may opening of the door. Pag may seeking, merong finding. Pag may observation, pag may tunneling, merong effect. So, believe, ask, seek, knock. Pray without ceasing. What you pray for, what you think of, what you work on, will have a great chance of being your reality. So after, and while doing the best you could, accept what life brings. Huwag makipag-boxing sa buhay, huwag makipag-judo, karate at kung ano-ano pa, huwag makipaglaban, tanggapin ang dapat tanggapin. Kasi kahit hindi yon was what you had in mind, marami pa ring blessing na makikita doon. Accept your lot to find peace. Pagka hindi mo tinatanggap ang nangyayari na hindi mo naman maiiwasan, lulungkot ka lang. Magiging miserable ka lang. Accept your lot to find peace. Be at peace. Isaiah 46:10. I make known the end from the beginning. From ancient times, what is still to come. I say, my purpose will stand, and I will do what I please. Yan ang sabi ng Diyos. So bow to faith.